Hey friends, thanks for tuning in. Just wanted to let you know our Georgia episode had a little bit of a softer start than we'd expected. I came down with COVID at the end of our trip in Pensacola, and Chris and I needed to kind of just pack up and get gone. Yeah. And we left Van at the grandparents' house for a few days so that I could quarantine, and he was fine. Chris was my bed nurse, and he's already vaccinated and had his own round of COVID, so he was the safest, and we just figured if he was going to get it, he would have by then. So things were just a little bit different than we expected.
Yeah. I mean, obviously we had other things planned. I had planned like shooting footage of us leaving my dad's and, saying goodbye and, blah, 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 blah. Probably a lot of stuff that wouldn't have made the cut anyway. But nonetheless, we just packed everything up and jumped in the trailer and truck and hauled ass to Georgia. And so obviously what we did do is a little bit different than what we had planned on initially. But I think we made the best of it.
Definitely.
And I think the most important part was that it gave you time to rest. It was, hey, there's no pressure here. We're not under any sort of timeline. You stay in bed and, I'll take care of you and we'll get you well. And that's what we did.
And we did.
Yep. And so here we are. But that's it. So obviously as we get into the rest of the episode, we did have some fun in Georgia. Like I said, we spent a couple days at our first site. And, you'll see for yourself.
Check it out.
Finley, you want to drive? Oh, see, everybody's got something to say until I want to put them in the driver's seat. And then it's like, no, I want to lay down and take a nap. Quitters. There we are. Got it set up. Nice little spot, plenty of shade, close to the water. I mean, what more can you ask for? Oh yeah. Almost completely level. Very little leveling to do. Cannot complain about this for a first stop. Hot Georgia day. Found a nice little pool here in FD Roosevelt State Park. It is the little Grand Canyon. Very little. We've been here for the last 5 days. It's been really hot. It's obviously summer, so temperatures in the hundreds aren't uncommon, but it limits what you can do during the day. But anyway, came out to this park today. It's a state park. They call it Georgia's Little Grand Canyon. And from what I understand, the canyon was actually formed due to improper farming and irrigation techniques back in the 1800s, and all that erosion carved out this huge canyon. When I first heard about this place, I was like, where I'm from, we call that a clay pit. But it is actually pretty big, and I can't imagine the amount of water runoff from farming that it took to do this, but I guess over the course of a couple hundred years, it took its toll.
But nothing ever stopped me from dusting off my shoes. You might think you'll see me falling to the ground, but I threw up my umbrella when rain stops hitting down. Yeah! On a bad day, on a good day,
burger.
It's really good.
What'd you have?
I got myself a steak sandwich on ciabatta, kind of Philly style, but it also has au jus, like a French dip.
A
So
little salad.
some salad, a nice glass of dry white wine. So we just finished up a nice lunch over at Watermelon Creek Vineyards down here just outside of Reidsville, Georgia. So here in the south, the vineyards, they grow muscadine and scuppernong grapes, not the traditional varietals that most people are used to. These wines tend to lean on the sweeter side, but this place has done a great job at changing it up, and I had a very nice dry white wine with my steak sandwich, and it was delicious. I could kind of taste the undertones of the scuppernong grape because it definitely does have its own flavor profile, but it was not that syrupy sweet kind of wine that a lot of places do. I would definitely recommend it. I do recommend calling ahead, seeing about getting a reservation, because they are a smaller staff. That way you can actually have some time with someone and do a full tasting. Let me tell you folks, we are so lucky to be in Georgia right now this time of year. Their crops are going bananas. This is just our haul that we got yesterday, and we're looking forward to put it to work and show you how we do it.
That's always fun to wake up to. Low tire pressure. Rear passenger tire. Apparently the valve stem is faulty. This would be the second out of 4. So wonderful job installing those to the folks that put on my tires back in April. Really appreciate it. Luckily I've caught it in time, and it's not going to be an issue that's going to leave us stranded on the side of the road, but nonetheless still a minor annoyance. So let's go take care of that. Give it a little tap, you get some air that comes out. How fun is that?
Nice jack work, Ricky! Hey, shake and bake, Cal! Woo!
All right, so we got the valve stem replaced. Thanks to the good folks at Discount Tire in Linville, Georgia. Appreciate you guys getting me in and out so quick. And for $5 each, it was a relatively inexpensive insurance to make sure we didn't have any problems down the road. Went ahead and replaced the 3 remaining valve stems, since this would be the second one out of the 4 new ones that I had put on when I bought new tires back in March. So it just seemed like the right thing to do. Heading back right now to the campground to pick up Lindsey and Van. We're gonna head over to Savannah for the day. Find some postcards?
I did. I got 2 postcards, so I'm gonna send some postcards.
Excuse me. Woo! All right, Savannah River Walk. Walking around. We're here in southeast Georgia for a couple more days. We'll be here for the 4th before we leave and head a little bit further north. We'll be a little bit north of Charleston next week before we head inland, going to visit a farm up there, Benford Brewing actually. It's just south of Charlotte in South Carolina. I believe it's in Lancaster, so we'll be going there. But what are your favorite places to go? What are your favorite places to eat? You got any cool farm places to check out around the Charleston area? Drop us a comment in the comment section. We'd love to hear from you. And then also don't forget to like and subscribe. Keep that algorithm happy, and it really keep us happy too. Candy Kitchen.
Oh, one of my favorite stops so far.
Yep, best stop in Savannah.
Good day, sir.
I made you a little cocktail.
I see that. We'll have to call this a Kentucky Georgia peach iced tea. There's a little bourbon in here.
I call it the Happy Hubby.
Well, I had a nice beer here, so I guess I'm double fisting now. But you know, we'll do it again. I'm just rubbing up this corn. I got some butter on these fresh local corn we got. We'll add a little bit of salt and pepper. Black pepper, butter. A little bit of secret seasoning over the top. And then we'll just a little bit of olive oil, just a little bit more liquid in there, help that steam and bubble up. And then we're gonna wrap these up, throw them on the Blackstone, let them go with his brothers and sisters that are already in there. And they will be part of 4th of July dinner for tonight.
Ooh. About how long do you think they take to cook?
I'd say a good like 25-30 minutes should do them. We'll roll them around.
Special order! Special order!
So we're gonna do a traditional Georgia peach, southern cobbler. I am gonna do a little bit different than some people do. I like to put some pecans into my crust. So I'm going to, while we're making the rest of some of the other stuff, I'm going to toast off some pecans, and then we'll chop those up and add them into our biscuit type mixture. I've already got my oven warm. It's at 375, I hope. We'll see. Cooking in a RV oven is a little bit different than real life. I'm doing like a half size because literally it's just Chris and I. Van's not going to eat it because he's crazy. But I'm doing a half recipe. I've got a half a cup of butter. I'm going to melt that in the oven while the pecans are cooking, and I start on everything else. So these beauties were picked just, I believe, this past week, and take the skins off just because they're not as fun to eat as the regular flesh of the peach. And then I'm just going to half them and slice them. Some of the other things that are fun to put in the cobblers right now, blueberries are in season, but we didn't get any of those. So I'm going to go with the pecans in my crust and a little bit of ginger in my peaches. All right, so we just got these here. I pre-sliced some other ones for us. I'm going to put these in my saucepan so we can start to pull out some of the juices. Perfect. Turn you on, and then I'm going to put in a half a cup of brown sugar. Get that packed in there real tight. Okay. And then you can use vanilla extract if you prefer. I've got vanilla beans, so I'm going to put those in, and I'll pull them out before we bake. But simmering in that juice and the sugar, it's going to add a really nice fresh flavor to it. All right. Split it. I did scrape out some of the insides just so that it kind of gets that flavor out there a little bit faster, since there's not a lot of liquid being used. Smells so good. If only y'all could smell this. You can see I've got that brown sugar all coated over. The vanilla beans are mixing in there.
I think I know what you're missing.
Oh yeah, what's that?
How about a bottle of bourbon?
Ooh. All right, and as it's simmering, I'm gonna hit it with a little bit of Bellmead bourbon. This stuff's pretty cool. It's finished up in XO cognac casks, so it adds a little different flavor balance to it. So we're just gonna, I'd say that was probably about an ounce.
I like your measuring style.
Ooh. Christopher, can you smell that? All right. Gotta check my pecans. Wouldn't want to burn my nuts. You're gonna let those cool. I'm putting in a half a cup of flour, a half a cup of sugar.
Yep, too hot.
A teaspoon of baking powder. And I'm gonna stir up all of our dry ingredients here. And then I'm gonna add in a half a cup of milk. Just wanna mix it till it's combined. And it should look like a nice simple little cake mixture. Make sure we chop those down real small. We don't want it to be too overwhelming, but it's gonna add a nice little crunch. If you like what you see, please go ahead and hit that like button for us, or let me know. What kind of cobbler do you like to eat at home? And so we've got my toasted pecans going in. And mix that all up. It's gonna be so good.
Smells so good.
I think the cobbler topping is like my favorite part. All right, now I'm also gonna add some ginger paste. I'm gonna put in about a tablespoon. Give that a stir. Now our peaches have let out a lot of liquid. So we can see I've got my butter melted, and I'm going to add batter right in. Now you might be thinking, Lindsay, doesn't the batter go on the top? Because that's what I was thinking, but no. Traditional cobbler has you start with your batter on the bottom. Don't stir it. Then you're gonna put your peaches on top. And while it cooks, the heavy's gonna settle on the bottom. The batter's gonna rise to the top, get golden brown and delicious. And you're gonna have a phenomenal dessert. Get all that goodness in there. So we've got our cobbler built. Butter on the bottom, then the batter, then the peaches. And now I'm gonna top it with, this is some cinnamon toast spice that we get out of Seattle, World Spice. We'll add a nice little flair. All right, we're ready to hit the oven.
Check in on this stuff. Ooh, burger's looking good. Cheese melted. Onions looking nice and caramelized up. Bacon, put that over. You guys are looking almost done. I think we're about close for dinner time. You know, I love this Blackstone. I mean, it's so versatile. You can do everything on it. I mean, honestly, we did bone-in chicken last night, and it knocked it out. Took a little bit longer than an oven would, but not by much. And you know, honestly, like, it's so versatile. You can do burgers, you can do breakfast, you can do dinner, quesadillas. I mean, I've done steak and eggs on here, but I do wish I would have brought my smoker. That's the one thing. You know, we were packing and trying to conserve room for everything, and I just tell you, I didn't bring the smoker because I guess I just ran out of room and I figured it wasn't a necessity. But now that I'm out here, I really wish I had it. It was an old barrel smoker that I rescued from a neighbor who was throwing it out. So I think now I actually am going to go out and look for a smoker to have, because being able to do like anything, smoked tri-tip or ribs or you name it, smoked pork butt, whatever. It's just, it's so easy to do. You set it and forget it. You keep your eye on it, right? And make sure the temperature stays right and stoke the coals. I really like, you know, natural charcoal, lump charcoal on the smoker, but definitely on my list now to go out and make sure I get. So I'm going to have to go through the truck, make sure everything there is absolutely 100% needed, because I'm going to need some space for a nice little smoker coming up. And I think I got a couple that I'll have my eyes on. Yeah, hopefully in the future we'll have one of those and we can start incorporating some smoked meats into some of the menu items that we have, because it's something I absolutely love to do. And I'm sure you guys would love to see it and the smell-o-vision that comes along with it.
Ooh.
Look at this.
I made a cobbler, I made a cobbler, I made a cobbler, and it's gonna be good.
The name checks out, Cobbler Queen.
Smells so good.
Oh my goodness. Goodness, that looks so good. That's such a good shot. It's so gooey, bubbly. It's so good, I think I might have to get in closer.
Some bitch was right. Tastes like a peach.
All right, I think we're good. Remind me next time to have a change of shirts packed for travel day. Man, it's like a sauna out there. And
Yeah.
sticky.
Nah.
Also, if you're ever going to come to southeast Georgia or southwest Georgia this time of year, there are tons of gnats out. I mean, pretty common this time of year in the summer, but if you'd like to hang out and you don't have like a mesh screen enclosure, we have discussed getting beekeepers hats to wear, because they literally will swarm your face, mouth, nose, ears, eyes, pretty much any open orifice, legs, all those things. So anyway, that being said, we're hooked up. We're ready to roll.
Let's get on the road.
Next stop, just north of Charleston, South Carolina.